Think global, act local in your settlement. The sovereign element, farmers, growers, and residents. Clean, lean, green development. The sovereign element.
Genetic engineering, artificial selection to designer babies. What does it mean? By J.L. Gallion, Sovereign Element, December 6, 2013. Genetic engineering has created genetically modified organisms that can be alive, from animals to food to bacteria, and are owned by corporations through intellectual property laws and patents. There is a split between the safety and advocacy of these techniques and the so-called products deriving from genetic engineering. The bioengineering technology industry is now a multi-billion-dollar per year business, offering everything from synthetic drugs to synthetic foods and modified animals. Humanity has for thousands of years been subtly and directly influencing nature. The oldest means I can think of is by domesticating animals, crossbreeding different breeds resulting in new breeds with special attributes. For example, wolves became dogs. Dogs became purposefully interbred to create very specific genetic compositions, molding some dogs better for hunting, others for sheep herding, and today, miniature pets. When it came to plants, we noticed that crossbreeding, let's say two different types of apple trees, might create a wonderful hybrid of great quality. We can refer to this type of genetic engineering as the most basic, artificial selection. With artificial selection, human input makes a specific choice in the breeding of plants and animals, utilizing a natural process, the growth of a plant or the birth of an animal, harnessing nature to fit man's vision. With the advent of modern technology getting smaller and more powerful, we have come to the age of bioengineering at a molecular and DNA level. We can actually break apart the building blocks of all life on the planet and reconstruct it as we please. This was set off by the discovery of the double-helix in 1953 by Francis and Crick. This led to the mapping of genes and the synthesis of proteins. In 1972, Cohen and Boyer brought their independent work together to clone the first genetically engineered molecules. By 1978, recombinant human insulin was created by manipulating E. coli bacteria and splicing it with genes from human DNA. This resulted in bacteria that manufactured replicated human insulin during cellular division. Today, a drug called humulin is produced in 4-story tall fermentation vats of E. coli bacteria. This genetically engineered E. coli produces replicated human insulin that is extracted from the vats and packaged for use by diabetes patients. Humulin was the first recombinant DNA approved drug offered by Eli Lilly. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Diamond v. Chakrabarty in 1980 that Exxon had the right to patent genetically engineered oil-eating bacteria created in a laboratory. This was the first case of its kind to grant intellectual property rights and patent on a living entity. Monsanto, a genetic engineering and petrol-based agricultural corporation, was the first to genetically modify a plant species in 1982. In 1987, Monsanto field tested the first genetically modified crops for trial research. Today, Monsanto is a leader in genetically modified organisms, from crops to pesticides, insecticides, and artificial sweeteners. Calgene's Flavor Saver tomato was the first genetically modified food to be approved for public consumption. In the same year, 1992, the FDA released a document, Statement of Policy, Foods Derived from New Plant Varieties, giving the green light on consuming genetically engineered food products. The dynamic interface of society and science, and arguably spirituality, is at a crossroads. What is the ultimate goal of genetic engineering? How far will it go? Will it be used to manipulate the food supply in the name of profit? It already is. What is the long-term effect on human health, human society, and on the environment? Will scientists push for genetically engineered human beings? Will genetically modified humans be considered private property and patented biomachinery?
Think global, act local in your settlement. The sovereign element, farmers, growers, and residents. Clean, lean, green development. The sovereign element.